Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith, and today guys I'll be checking out Piers Morgan as he clashes with guests over definition, and I'm super excited as always. If you're here to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
Well, joining me now, a Talk TV trio, Isabel Oakeshott, Richard Tice and Paula Roan Adrian. Richard, how has it come to this, that companies now feel a desperate urge to impinge on the rest of us, their own supposed values and beliefs, and if we veer from them, we're somehow evil?
Well, I think we're absolutely seeing that if you go woke as a company, you will go broke. And you've read out lots of companies there who financially have suffered, and actually NatWest and Coutts will financially suffer from this. No question at all. Hopefully, the lesson to be learned out of this is we are possibly at peak wokeness. But the reason we've come to it, Piers, I think is because of weak leadership on the boards of directors of these companies who have fallen for this stuff that has come from younger people underneath, and they haven't had the courage to say, don't be daft, where's the common sense, stick to doing a good, producing a good product and selling it to customers
Paula, it's
that
a
want to buy
bunch.
it.
I've seen this myself. I saw it at ITV when I went through my exit from Good Morning Britain. A lot of the aggro was driven internally by young wokies at ITV. I know you don't like the term, but let me explain what it means.
No, I do like the term. I like the term woke. I support the term woke because I know what it means.
What do you think it means?
Well, it's not what I think it means, it's what I know it means.
No. I know what it used to mean. I read a book about it. I read a whole book about it.
It's
the number one bestseller, right?
It still means the same thing.
I know what woke used to mean, raising awareness to social and racial injustice.
Right.
I get it, right? That is not what today's woke means.
Well,
today's woke is the new fascism.
That may be your misunderstanding, but I understand.
Today's woke is what Coutts have just done to Nigel Farage.
No.
And by the way, hang on. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm a Coutts customer too. I'm not happy about this. I rang them yesterday to have a chat with them about it. They wouldn't even talk to me about it because they couldn't confirm that Nigel Farage is a customer, right? Because apparently he breaches his privacy.
That's data protection, is it? I mean,
right, except they're briefing left, right and centre to the media about Nigel Farage.
Data Protection Act is also...
But here's my point.
Is it?
The point I made yesterday, I'm going to make it again. I have a lot of what people think are controversial opinions. I don't happen to think they're very controversial. But why are my controversial opinions allowed by Coutts and why Nigel Farage is not? And why, if you believe in free speech, if you're a genuine liberal, would anyone be happy with someone like Farage, regardless of his politics, having his bank account taken away? Because I don't get it.
So Nigel Farage knows better than anybody that we live and work in a capitalist society. As a private bank, they have decided, as a bank, they have decided that their customer is undesirable.
But did you read why?
It's undesirable. I did.
Isabel, come back in a moment.
I know, but
Isabel, you can respond to what she says.
Has decided that he's undesirable and therefore no longer want to.
But did you read the reasons why?
I did read the reasons.
All of them?
The reasons why. I did.
Because it was actually shocking.
And do you know what?
A lot of it was down to he likes Novak Djokovic.
I mean,
well, on that basis, most of the people on Twitter last week have to be banned.
The biggest irony of this is, there's two. The first is, as I understand it, and you'll correct me, Richard, if we were still in the EU, that wouldn't have been allowed to happen.
No, absolute nonsense.
The second thing is, why are we concerned about 1 millionaire when there are over 1 million people who are lower income status who cannot get access to bank accounts and who cannot
All right, Isabel, you report.
And therefore suffer because of that. I mean, you say that's all right, but we're talking about one
Here's
man.
the truth.
There are over 1 million people who are struggling, who are suffering now.
Paula, if this was Keir Starmer that happened to you, just said the complete opposite.
Oh my goodness. You
know
Isabel, perfectly well that it isn't just 1 millionaire. You know that this is the absolute tip of it, and that loads of organisations and individuals are being debanked for their political views.
What I understand is that because of Nigel Farage, the Treasury has suddenly decided to change rules. When you're poor, when you are of low income, when your status is not the same or considered to be the same as Nigel Farage,
it's completely the opposite. There's a Facebook page of 10,000 NatWest customers.
Can I ask, Piers, how strongly do you feel about this issue?
Pretty strongly, actually, because I think it doesn't matter whether you're on the left or the right. The idea that a bank is taking a view about people based on their opinions because there's no criminality attached to Farage that has been unearthed. They couldn't point to any. A lot of it was he gets on with Donald Trump. He likes Novak Djokovic and all this kind of thing.
So
I thought it was
ridiculous.
I thought it was ridiculous.
Completely ridiculous. So my question to you is, and this maybe you think it's a bit of a cheeky question, it's only just occurred to me, why don't you shut your account with them?
I want to talk to them, actually.
I mean,
I do want to talk to them.
Because it is only by people like you doing that that organisations will realise that customers are going to leave.
I've been with Coots a very long time. They've always been very good to me. But I've got to say, I find this episode deeply concerning.
And
for the boss of NatWest to
terrifying.
say, we should never have done this. Yeah, but a lot of your executives were involved in this.
But I've had accounts closed by Metrobank, by Tide.
Being
they wouldn't give me
refused
any
lending as well.
but with cash in. For no reason.
Really?
They wouldn't tell me why.
Yeah.
With the Metrobank, it was with the Reform Party account. I gave a press conference at the time. They wouldn't give any reason whatsoever. I've submitted subject access requests. It'll be very interesting to see what they say.
So tell me something.
It's got nothing to do with Nigel. It's all to do with tens of
I
thousands
agree
of
with
small
you.
businesses
I agree with
have
you.
had their bank
This
accounts
isn't
shut.
actually a story about Nigel Farage, and that is quite frustrating. That it has turned into a story about one man whose feelings have been hurt.
No.
This is about,
They lied.
as I said,
They
over
lied.
a million people who have been
They
shut
lied.
out.
Paula,
They
lied.
Hang on.
That's what this is about.
They briefed Simon
But we are
Jack.
focusing on Nigel Farage because his
They
feelings
briefed
have been
Simon
hurt.
Jack at the BBC deliberately, and it turned out he was sitting next to this woman, the boss of NatWest, the night before at a dinner. By coincidence, we don't know. Right, but they briefed him, and he put out that it was actually the real reason was financial. He didn't have enough money in his account. It turns out that is not true.
And
when
he
you read the
quickly
full
knew
account in the
that.
Telegraph about this, it turns out a major part of their thinking actually were about his political views, which on the equator of Brexit, that's half the country. Right, so this idea that because he likes Trump and likes Djokovic, and and may or may not have known some Russian people, whatever, none of this is a good enough reason to kick off his account.
A huge percentage of Coots' own customers will agree with Nigel on many of these issues. So are they going to fire all of them? I mean,
but I would feel the same way if it was someone on the left, right? So I don't take a partisan position. Too many people I see responding to the Farage story take a partisan position. Where I always believe in swapping names, right? When you do a Biden story, imagine if it was Donald Trump and so on, and the other way round, and see how you'd feel. And if you feel the same way, that's your belief, right? Whereas it's not a partisan position.
And I can totally agree with you on that, which is why I say this is not a Nigel Farage story. It isn't, but it is being played out as if it's about.
You know the most stupid thing about
Nigel
it, Paula?
Farage.
You say that, but actually at the end of their assessment as to why they were going to remove his account, they say, we are aware this will be a PR problem.
I know, yeah.
Right? And then they still do it. And then the boss of NatWest, the overboss of Coots, has to issue a grovelling apology to Nigel Farage, playing right into his hands, of course, because he's a broadcaster and a politician. Of course, it empowers and helps him. But that's frankly the price you pay when you do this kind of thing.
And Paul,
in a country like this country.
Where I agree with you is it really sticks in the throat to hear Coots talking about inclusivity when they are one of the most exclusive banking houses there are.
I mean, that again, I just found that laughable. Anyway, I will be talking to Coots, and it'll be an interesting conversation. Because I think they only think I want to talk about Farage. Actually, I want to talk about myself.
Thank you.
Am I going to have to read? Am I going to read one of these reports about my views? Yes. And if not, actually, why not?
Right.
I mean, either be consistent or don't. But
get them on the programme.
I will ask the boss of Coots to come on.
I'd love that.
And I think they should. We'll have a proper conversation about what makes a reasonable person.
Be quite interesting. You should submit a subject access request from Coots about you. It'd be interesting reading.
It would be interesting reading. Maybe not be too hasty here, Ty. You've prompted this. Let's turn to weaponised incompetence. Women are starting to call out their men for lack of responsibility over household chores, with videos mentioning the term weaponised incompetence receiving 1.5 or 148 million views on TikTok. Let's take a look.
I'm going to show you guys what weaponized incompetence is. It's something my baby daddy loves to use against me very, very well. Last night, I went to bed at like 10. I asked him, hey, can you please clean the bottles, right? If I were to ask him, hey, I thought I asked you to pick up the kitchen last night. Oh, well, you only told me to clean the bottles, and I did clean the bottles. You didn't tell me to put the food away, and you didn't tell me to clean up the rest of it. That's weaponized incompetence. He's playing stupid to basically win an argument.
No, I mean, don't call me Nostradamus here, but I suspect, obviously you two are a couple. And I would imagine Richard is one of those that's probably quite guilty of weaponised incompetence.
He is tremendously competent in many respects.
Household chores?
But I have to, he's not bad on that, but I have to say, when it comes to looking for things, the most cursory glance around a room for a lost item results in nowhere to be found, sorry, can't find it anywhere. And Paula, you'll relate to this.
I do.
You find it in about 2 seconds, precisely where you told them it was.
Yes.
Anything to say?
Paula, have you experienced weaponised incompetence?
Every day.
I have experienced it. Clearly not in the last 14 years of a very, very blissful marriage, but I have experienced it. But remember, we don't only see that type of behaviour at home, we also see it in the workplace. And that, unfortunately, causes significant issues in the workplace, as well as...
So if I leave I could take my suit off after the show tonight and just leave it lying around for Kerry, my brilliant assistant. If I leave it for her to pick up, is that weaponised incompetence?
Absolutely. Or if you, for example, just forget that you were supposed to have researched X, Y, and Z, and you expect one of the fantastic runners who work for you to compile a report for you. You could have done that yourself.
Richard, I mean, is there a grading here? Like, if you're the hunter and provider of the household,
which I am, I'm the
you bring in the big bucks, you work the long hours, all that kind of thing. Are you entitled to down tools on the household?
That's a big if.
Are you entitled to basically be incompetent when it comes to that?
I actually think that I'm going to plead the fifth. I'm going to be
very
American.
careful, yeah.
Because I could get in serious trouble.
May the record show Richard's eyes finally was shut up at the idea of dipping his head over the parapet of weaponised incompetence, which says it all, you big doormat. Good to see you back.
Wow, you guys, that was such a beautiful debate right there, and I really enjoyed every bit of the song. I never knew that someone can be fired or laid off because of their political view. It beats my imagination how some people reason in this world because of wokeness. This is such a beautiful debate that I really enjoyed. I understand where each and every one of them is coming from when they had the time to speak, and it was such a beautiful one and I enjoyed it. If you guys totally enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And this is me officially signing out. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.